and welcome. Today I'll show you how you can use the After Effects script Rapid Reel Composer to edit your videos real quick. It can be useful for your home videos, it can be useful for your cooking videos, travel videos, or you can even edit some heavy projects as well. So how it works is basically if you have a footage, then what do? We just trim it and then we stack one after another and then we edit the whole thing. If you have a lot of clips which are like 10 minutes or 20 minutes and you want to share that real quick, making a 1-minute video or 1.5 minutes video to share it online, then this script can save your life. Let me show you. So I have some cooking videos here, footage here, that is about like 10 minutes long. So I dragged all of the footage that I needed, and then I need to sequence them properly. So I'm going to select it. Let me just put it aside first. All right. So we are going to edit from the bottom to top. Now how it works is basically you have two ways to edit the video. One is you can tell that this is my in point by putting a marker, and then you can tell this is my out point. So this is where I want to cut it. And then you can select some other area and then you can say this is where I want to cut it. And then from here to here. Now all you have to do is just go through the timeline and then see, and you put the marker, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Once you're done, you simply just go to split, and you have two methods. That's what the first method I'm showing you, which is in and out point. So if I just simply select that and then click, it will do the magic and it will pre-compose everything. It will hide this layer and you got your video. Now it's not just that you can feed all of this video within like 1.5 minutes or 1 minute pretty easily. I'll show you how you can do it, and it's pretty fun. So this is one method that I have shown you. Let me just undo that. Another method is if you have a, let's say 10 minutes video and you don't want to go through each step, but you want to just show the key points. Let's say this is where you want to show the clip, but from there to next 3 second or 5 second you want to show that, and then you want to jump back to this section, and then from there to 5 seconds you want to show them, and that's how you want to cut it. So if you want to do it, you have to spend a lot of time if you go through manually, if you want to do it manually, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clear the markers and I'll show you all of the options briefly. So you just select one portion, let's say here, and let's say I want to jump back here, 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 and here. Now you can decide, do you want to go for 15 frame, or do you want to go for 15 second? Do you want to go for 1 minute? How long do you want to go for from this key point or this key point or this key point? If I just go back to the split tab, I can tell that I want a 10-second footage, 10 second. You can just select from here, and each of these points should get 10 seconds cut. So if I simply select the layer and then click on the lazy, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 footage which are 10 seconds long each, and everything is selected. Now usually if you are making a speed art or cooking videos, you don't want to play like this. Look at this video, it's really slow and it's really boring. So 10 seconds you're going to watch like this, it's not good. So what we can do is we can go to the speed tab and we can stretch the video. Let's say I want to stretch for 70%, which is going to speed up that footage, right? So if I just select all of them, do 70, and then just click on this, this is gonna be, the speed has changed now. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see. If I simply click on this sequence, it will sequence them properly so that you can preview that. And there's no gap, nothing. So you can just preview that. It's a bit faster now. but still it looks boring, right? So what we can do, we can even cut it again. Okay, other thing that I can do is I can pre-comp all of them. So select all of them and then just click on pre-comp. So if I click on pre-comp individually, each of them will get its own pre-comp. If I click on pre-comp all, it will get all of this will be inside one pre-comp that I rename here. If I rename here as ABC and then click on pre-comp all of them will be same. As you can see, if I double click on that, it's same duration and everything is fine. In point and out point, everything is looking good. I can go back to this, and now I can put some marker in here again. So let's say I want to put here, 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 here. Go back to split, and then this time I will do a 2 seconds of footage. So remember that it speed up a little bit, and then I have it 34 seconds long, 35 seconds long footage. Now I'm going to get, let's say 3 seconds. I'm going to click on lazy again, and I will get split, all of the splits again. Now you have one single footage, but then you got very limited areas that you want to show your audience and you don't want to bore them, right? This layer got hidden automatically, so you can play. So once all of them are selected, you can just go back to marker and then click on this BN, which is, as you know, the BN is the shortcut. B is for beginning of the composition, work comp area, and N is for the end point. So if I just click on that, if I select any of this layer and then click on that button, the comp layer will be, the work area will be select on the selected layer. So if I select 3 of them and click on BN, it will be selected to there. Now I want to do all of them, and I can play. Now, as you can see, it's not as boring as it was before, and you can show a lot of key points and stuff within a few short time. Now, let me properly do it. I'm just going to delete everything. Now, all of the stuff that we just did, all of the splits, everything is properly saved in these folders. So I split it twice. So I split this one and this one. So you can see I have a footage 1 folder, and then you can simply delete all of them and everything will be gone. And then you have a footage 2, which is this second one. I can simply take all of this and just check the folder and then just delete it. Everything will be back to how it was. So let's clean up and then show you how you can do it real quick. So I have a lot of footage. I want to do the edit real quick. So I'm going to select that and then clear the markers. So if I click on this button, so you have 3 tabs. I will go through all of them, but let me just show you. You have a marker tab where you have all of the stuff related to markers, and you have a lot of helping tools here. Let's say if you're using a laptop, then you don't have maybe an asterisk key, so you don't want to just right click and then go to markers and then click add marker, right? So I put a handy button here. You just click here and that's it. Click, that's it. Okay, now I'm going to clear all of the markers. Let's select all of them from bottom to top. That's how we want to edit, from bottom to top. Go back to speed and then sequence the layers. And as I can see, it's 10 minutes long. My intention is to make a 1.5 minutes long video. Now I have a composition here that I put some markers already, as you can see. So how can I, let's say by mistake you made a marker, but you want to put a marker on top of each of them, not on the composition. How you can transfer those markers real quick. You can simply select both. There are a few ways that I actually provided here. You can either click on this one single layer, and then if I just go to marker tab, layer to comp markers, if you click on this, the layer markers will be transferred to this work area. So if I click on this, all of the selected layers markers will be transferred to that work area, which you can actually transfer back to any layers you want. Let's say I have a solid here, and I want to transfer those markers in here. Simply I select that solid and click on the next one, which is comp to layer marker, and all of the markers that was on that area will be transferred to this layer. Now you can just cut this layer and then put it in here and then just do the same thing. Now another cool feature, another strong feature of this is if I just take this marker, let's say I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to delete all of the markers as well from the work area. If I select both and I click on batch marker transfer, it will actually give me a null object where all of the markers are transferred. So as you can see, there's a null object and all of the markers of the selected layers are transferred. Now I can simply take this marker. I can just cut it and then just go back here and just place it here. All of the markers are here, right? Now, if I want to put them on top of each of these, simply just take that and then put it on the comp, work area. So simply select that and then go to layer to comp markers, and you can delete this if you don't need it. Simply select all of them and click on comp to layer marker. Now this is cool because all of the layers will get markers and it's not gonna be getting any extra markers. As you can see, if I just click here, all of the markers are transferred from here to each of the layers and there's no extra markers on each layers. Now this is exactly what you see here in this comp. All right, so I want to go for the first method for this video, which is, sorry, the second method, which is the lazy method. Because this is a long process video, like showing some process that what you're doing, if you're doing some artworks and stuff, you can use this method. And the travel videos too. So I'm going to get each points and maybe 10 seconds long footage out of each of these points, or maybe just go for 5 seconds for now. So I'm going to select all of them. So what I did so far, I just arranged the marker. I just arrange all of the sequence and then put the marker, and that's it. That's what I did. Now simply go back to this split and then put 5 seconds. Make sure it's second. Select from the bottom to top and click on lazy. Within a second, you will see all of the footage are ready for you. And as you can see, I have all of the footage ready. I'm just going to delete all of this first. And it is, if I just go to marker and then click on BN, because those layers are already selected, you can see now we have a footage of like about like 2.5 minutes long. Now we want to squeeze that into 1 minute, right? So let's do some other stuff. As you can see, all of the layers are hidden already. By default, it's hidden. All of the sounds are gone. If you have sound, it will be mute as well. I'm going to shy this so that it doesn't distract me. Okay. Now, what I can do is I can squeeze that speed a little bit. So if I just play it now, you will see it's a bit boring. So it's a bit boring. So I'm going to get another song. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Now, if you do want to speed it up, you just have to go here, time, and then time stretch, and then you speed it up from here, right? I gave you the option. You can select all of the layers, and then whatever you want to speed up, you can just go to this. You can just clear the time stretch, so it will be 0. It will be actually 100. 100 is the normal. You can go up, like you can make it slower. You can make the footage slow, or you can go like below 100, which is gonna make your footage real fast. Now, be careful when you use it. If you have your voice, the voice will sound like chipmunk. So you have to make sure that you're not using it for the real footage that you have, that way you're going to use your voice. I'm not going to use any voice. I'm just going to use the music, so there's no problem at all. I'm going to go for 70% this time. Click time stretch, and all of these are stretched. If I simply click on, all of this is selected already. So if I just select this sequence, now I got a footage of 1:37. So my intention was one and a half, or 1.5 minutes long footage, right? If you want to clear that time stretch, you can just simply make it 100 and then click again, or you can just clear the time stretch like this. And I want to show you another thing. Let's clear that and then sequence them again. Sometimes you may want your videos to be bit overlapped and then fade out like a slideshow. So these videos are not fading out or anything, fading in or fading out, or it's just one after another. But you have an option here, overlap sequence. Simply you put a value here. Now, one thing to notice, if you see these dots here, that means those options, you can actually use it for multiple purpose. For example, I have a dot here. If I simply select all of these layers and then click on the BN, it will take that in point and out point to that selected layer in point and out point, right? If I select this, click on the BN, it is selecting only this portion. If I don't select anything and then click on that, it will actually get the whole compositions in and out point. So this can be helpful when you're rendering something. So you don't have to even move it or do the crazy stuff that you need. So this dot means it has multiple functions that you can actually use. For example, this one, if I create a marker here at this point, I will create another marker here and maybe another marker here. Select the layer, and if I click on this button or this button, let's say this button, it will move the marker one frame forward. So if I click here, you see that all of the markers are moved. See that? It's moving now. It's really slow, but you can clearly see it's moving one frame. If I zoom in properly, I'm going to show you this. Move. Now, if I put a dot here, because if I hold shift and then click on that, it will move 10 frames. So it will be real fast. As you can see, it's fast. So you can easily transfer the markers from one to another. I want to overlap this, all of this footage. Select all of them. Now you can tell that how many frames you want to overlap. If I say 20, if I zoom in, and if I click on overlap, each of these will get 20 frames overlap with each other. Now this is just overlapping, so it's still not useful. But what I can do is, if I just tell that I want to fade in 20 frames and click overlap sequence, if I press T, you can see all of the layers has a fade in option, fade in opacity. So if I play it from here, so this could be your desired effect that you're looking for. But if you think that, okay, this doesn't look good, I want to change it, maybe 30 seconds or something else, you can just simply select it and then clear the opacity. So if you just do this, clear the opacity, all of the opacity will be 100%. So make sure that if you have any layers that is 50% opacity, that will become 100% too. So careful when you're using this, but because you have a brand new footage and everything is looking normal, then I assume that you don't have any footage that you want transparent at the beginning. So I can just click on this button and it will remove all of the keyframes from all of the selected layers in the opacity, and then simply go back and then I don't want to click back again. I want to sequence them again, and then click, and then make it 30%, and that will do that. Another cool feature is this fade option, fade audio. So this button will take the value from here too. So if I just have it 30, so let's say I have an audio file, and let me just open that. So if I want to do some fade in and fade out to this audio, I have to just select that clip and then trim it first. So let's say I want to trim it, select all of them, and click on the BM. And I want to trim it at that point. So go to the last point of this, select this there. I gave you a handy tool for trim in and out point. So if I just simply click on that, it will trim to that point. I want to fade out this audio. So if I simply select that layer and then say I want to fade out 40 and click fade out, I can do both fade in and fade out. You click on this because this layer is selected. Click on this. You just notice here you have a 40% fade out, and it will go back to, so for the fade out, it will go from 0 to -40, because that's how the fade out is going to work, right? And for the fade in, you have a -40 and it goes to 0. So when it goes to 0, you listen to the music, right? Another cool feature about this is, if I'm just clearing that, if you have a setup value, let's say I have a value of uh, 15, or let's say, because this video is too loud, because this music is too loud, I can make it -15. And the volume is lowered now, right? Now, if you do the fade in and fade out, it will remember that value. If you click on that, and you got a fade out from -15 to -55, which was like added 40. All right. Now this feature, this fade feature, is it can get real powerful when you have a lot of videos and you want to quickly reduce the volume. So if I want to reduce the volume for each of them, I have to go through all of these audios and then just reduce the volume, right? Or I have to find it where's the audios and stuff. If I turn the audio on for any of these layers, I'm going to get rid of the music. So if I go, so I have a few audios here, which value is, if I press L, I will see all of the audio levels, and the value is 0 right now, as you can see. So if I simply go, I don't have to click on fade out, but simply if I just go and say 20, -20, and click on the fade music, all of the audios become -20. So I didn't fade out or fade in, but I want to make it simply -20. So this can be really helpful if you want to quickly do that. You can make it 0 again, and all of the value will be 0. Okay, so back to this. Select all of them. I want to stretch that. Let's clear that and then make sure that there's nothing. Let's make it 70. And stretch. You can type your own value if you want. If you type 300 and time stretch, it will go, all of this will go 300%. I mean 300 value to this. So 100 is normal, and then you got 300. Then go 70, time stretch, and then click on sequence layer. So I got 1.5 minutes long video. I want to do some other stuff too, which is yeah, so I want to overlap, right? So we got our time stretched video, and we can simply overlap that. So once we overlap that, we will save some space here too. So if I overlap it for, let's say, 15 seconds, fade in. We don't want to do fade out, just fade in should be fine. So each of them will be fade in, so which means at the end, everything will look like a fade out. I'm gonna click overlap, and I got, save some time here, and I got exactly at 1:30. Now at the end one, because this is the last footage, we want to show it off that what we just made, so we can just go over 150 this one, maybe 200, and then click on time stretch, and it will slow down the video a little bit. Because the time has changed, I'll just move it a little bit. Okay, so the video is ready. You can just simply select all of them again, click on BM, and we can cut it off at this point. And we can fade the music out. We don't need the in, but we can just go for the out. Let's do a 30. Okay. Let's play the music. Oh, one more thing is, if you have any keyframe on your video and you want to remove that, like you want to put a new value, let's say 20 or minus 20, that keyframe will be gone. As you can see, it's gone, and then the input is. I did it because if you have a lot of fade in and fade out going on each of this or some other footage that you have, then you should, if you think the volume is not good, then you want to clear that out, right? If you don't have removed that keyframe, then it will be really hard for you to go inside that and then remove the keyframe, then put the value. There's no point of doing it, so that's why we just force that to remove all of the keyframes and then do the desired value that we want. So I'm going to do 0 fade, and then fade out. Or so if you want to fade out, you don't have to make minus 20. You just simply do 20 or 30, whatever value you want. It will automatically know that you want to fade out or fade in. So you want to fade out, it will put a minus value here, and that's it. The footage is ready. So let's watch it. So sometimes you may want to edit some color correction and that sort of stuff. So I did a feature for you. So if I select all of them and then click on add ADJ, which is adjustment layer. If I select all of them and then click on this, it will add adjustment layer to each of these slices. So you can just go to that adjustment layer and then simply edit the color corrections and whatever you want to do for that footage. For that specific footage, right? Now, if you want to clear that out real quick, you can select all of the layers that you have. Instead of getting one by one, you can select all of them. Even if you just go from here to here, no problem. Click on the delete adjustment layer, and it will delete all of the adjustment layer that you had in between. All right, so that's it for the cooking video. That was the method 1, which is the lazy part. And now we are going to move on to the next part, which is the travel part. In this one, I have some family footage that I captured long ago, and I didn't get time to um, edit those videos properly. So now, because I have the tool, it is gonna be real quick that I can edit the video. Now I added some uh, markers, as you can see, and it looks really ugly, but I'll tell you what's happening here. So if you look each of this is the in point and this is the out point. And I gave you a tool which will tell you what is the distance from this one to this one. So what is the duration of that? So it's total 22 seconds long, if you want to know. So if I just go here, as I can see, it's 0, and the footage is 44 or like 45 seconds long. This duration is gonna be like 22 seconds long. So this handy thing, I didn't have to put it by myself for all of them. So if you look at this one, it has multiple markers, but all of them, if you add it up, it will be 36 second long. And at the end, you'll see that this grand total, this is the value of the total video that I have right now. The video is basically 22 minutes long, but all of the markers that I have, it's 8 minutes 38 seconds long. If you compare to in point and out point and each of them. Okay, so how did I get it? Let me show you in this one. If I get a new layer and I want to put some marker. So let me show you another feature of this marker option. If I have a layer and I want to cut it, you don't have any time to even evenly put it. Let's say I have a video footage. Let me just duplicate that. And forget about all of this other stuff that's happening here. Side of them. Okay, so I have a footage and I don't have much time to go through each point and then just do the markers and stuff. Simply what you can do, I'm going to remove all of them. Simply what I can do is go to this marker panel and I have an option here, apply magic marker. You just tell what are the seconds or frames or minutes. If I go for seconds, I can see this is a 10 minutes long video. I can tell that, let me just begin. I can tell that from this point to this point, I want to put markers on this layer for each 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Click on that. You have markers on each 10 seconds, as you can see here. Now, if you don't have time, I can clear that. And then let's say I have a footage of 1 minute long. I want to put the markers in here and I want to get a, let's say 5 minutes long. This is my 5 minutes long video. I don't have time to edit this video. I don't have time to put the markers, but I want to show some footage from each of these parts. I can simply, let's say 20, because this is a 5 minutes long. Okay, check 20, click on second. It gets markers, and I don't know how many markers I have, but if I simply click on the count markers, you will see that there are 16 markers here. So you can actually take each of these as an in point or out point, or you can just tell that split to get each points and get 2 seconds of footage for me. So if I do 2 seconds here, now remember I have 16 markers. That means I'm going to get 16 footage out of this. 16 footage of 2 seconds, which is going to be like 32 seconds long. So if I click on lazy, I got my footage ready here. As you can see, it's 32 seconds long. And this layer is, all of the layers are hidden. This layer is hidden, that especially what I just worked on. And let me just go through and speed it up a little bit as well. Let's say, let's do it like 85 maybe. Sequence them, click on BM, and now I got a 26 seconds long footage. Let's look at this footage now. So that's how it will look if you don't have any time and you don't have any time to put the markers and stuff. You can real quick just drag all of the footage, sequence them properly, use pre-compose that. So let me show you again. Delete all of them. It's long, 10 minutes long. I have a 10 minutes long footage. Sorry, composition. I can drag all of them in here at once. I don't have any time, so see how quickly I can do it. So I don't have any time to edit all of this stuff, but I can simply drag, select all of them. I don't know the orders and stuff, but I want to just select it and sequence them and pre-comp all of them. So let's say this time, pizza, pre-comp all of them. If I select some of them or all of them and then click on the pre-comp individually, each of them will get its own pre-comp, as you can see here. So these can be really helpful. You don't have to like right click and then pre-comp and that sort of stuff. Select all of them and then you can pre-comp. But because the process that we are working on, it will automatically become a pre-comp when we edit the video. So I'm going to select all of them, pre-comp all. I got the whole footage. I want to put a marker in here now because I have a whole footage here. Simply go to marker. I want to get a 2 minute this time. Actually go second, 45 second. Click on apply. I got, I don't know how many, 14 of this, 14 markers. Simply go back to split. I want a 2 seconds of slice or maybe 3 seconds. Click on the lazy and you will get your footage very soon. Depends on your computer. Got the footage already. And this is, I don't know how long, it's 41 second long. You can speed it up a little bit to make it look less boring. Sequence them again. Click on the BN and it's ready to render. Ready to render. All right. Now another thing that you can do is you can open a new composition, which is like a Facebook, like a for the reels, and you can say that I want to make a reel for 50 seconds, and this is the size of that. It's called Facebook. Bring all of this. Either you can bring all of this, or you can just do one by one, or you can simply do this one in this font. Let's make this one easy for us. Facebook. Okay. And now, as you can see, these are not the proper size. So what do I have to do? I have to put a null object, add all of this. If I simply just scale it up, I can fill it up, but then I have a problem with the framing. So what you can do, this is going to be a clever way to do it. Go through, let's say this footage is looking okay, but I want to move it a little bit. So you can just simply grab this, hold shift, grab it, and then this is the framing that you want. Go back to the next one. This is okay. Go back to the next one. This is not good, so I can simply drag it, reframe it. This is okay, so maybe reframe it like this. Reframe it. Once you're done reframing everything, you can just render this out, and this is ready for your social media. So you have two copies. One is going to be like for YouTube and stuff, and one is this social media one. Okay, let's get back to the travel one. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you what's the how you can get the comments on the layer. Okay, let's get back to this one. Delete everything for me. If I have a footage and if I have few markers here, let's duplicate few of them. If I select all of them and go to marker, and then if I click on this, it will tell me how many markers I have and how many layers are selected. If I click on this one, it will create a comment on each of the last last marker, and it will tell you the timing difference, I mean distance between these two. Click on that, it created the time, and it will create another grand total time, which is going to be wherever is your timeline. If I just click here and then click again, it will be moved here. This one, you can change it. Let's say this is 7 seconds right now. If I change it and then click again, it will be updated. All of them will be updated. You can add more. So if I add one more here, this will stop working. So if I add one more, it will not work at all because see, all of them are removed because it is not even. There's nothing to, it's confused now. If I add one more layer, one more marker, which is gonna make it even, then if I click on this, it will show you the distance difference between this time and this time. So this can be really helpful when you really want to, you really have a tight time and then you want to finish your footage within that time. This can be really helpful. So let's go back to this. Oh yeah, so another thing is if you have any personal comments here, and you click on this clear comment, your comment will be not cleared. You just click here, you see that all of the comments that you have that was created by this script, those will be removed. So if I select all of them, let's say I have another comment here, and I select all of them, I click on this marker, and I got some extra, like I got the comments back. But then if I click on this clear comment, all of them are gone except yours one. If I double click on that, that's why I put a mark here. If I double click on that, all of them are gone. If I want to remove the markers that I have, that clear marker will remove all of the markers that you didn't create, the software created. So as you can see, if I click on this and then clear the marker, it's not removing at all. But if I use my software to create some markers, let's say 45, and then click on this again, 5, it created those markers. And I create one more marker, let's say in here. If I click on this clear marker, those markers will be removed, but not this one, not the one that you created. If you want to remove all of them, you can select all of them and then clear the all mark. Everything's going. Okay, let's get back to this travel video. Now I have all of these comments and stuff, and I choose this time. I choose in point and out point. So simply put the markers that's where I want it. Simply just went through all of the footage. It took me like 2 minutes to see what I'm looking at, and then just put some markers. So I want markers here and here, and from here to here. And then what I did is I didn't want it to work on this comp. I wanted to move everything to a fresh comp. So I created a travel editing comp where I put all of the markers. Now, how did I get these markers real quick here? That's what I mentioned before, but I'm going to show you again. So if I clear off the markers and delete this one, select all of the layers that you have, simply click on, go to the marker and then click on the batch marker transfer. You have a null object which transferred all of the masks, all of the layers, I mean all of the markers. Now either you can cut it and then take it, or you can simply click on marker transfer. So if I just simply press paste marker, it will transfer those markers in here. Okay, so I got the cuts. This is where I want to cut it. I have a music too, and this is 22 minutes long footage. So if I simply click on in and out, you don't have nothing. You have nothing else to do. Just make sure that you have the proper counting. So if I just click on this, if it shows you the time, that means that all of the marker has in and out point. It knows that. It's better if you do it in here, because if any of this is missing, it will not show you that value. Let's say I put another marker here. If I select all of them, see that value is not showing me at all, because then you have a problem. You know that there's a problem. So you remove this marker and everything should work. Okay, so go back to this and then simply click on split and in and out. And it will depend on your system how long it's gonna take. It took about like 30 seconds to make all of these cuts, as you can see. So this layer was hidden, and we got a 8 minutes long footage, as you can see here. Now 8 minutes long, it's still a lot. Now I have some other stuff too. So when I go through each of these, you will see that some of this footage has a longer stuff that I don't actually need it. I don't need like she's walking all the time, and I don't need to see it for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So I can simply select this layer and use this tool, the magic marker tool, apply magic marker tool. But before I do that, I have to make sure that this is where my timeline is, in and out point. If I click on the BN, this is where I want to put the markers, and I simply click on, let's say, I want to do it 10 seconds first. So let's do like 20 seconds. I got some of them, and then what I'm going to do is each of the 20 seconds, I actually want a 2 seconds long cut or 1 second long cut. So I'm going to go back to here and then go back to lazy and do a 1 second of cut. Click on the lazy. I got everything on top here. Let's bring it here. And this layer is hidden. And in that 1 second long footage, I want to change the speed to 200. So that will slow down the footage a little bit. I can simply find that layer, which was this one, and take this one. So take this one and then take all of them. I can simply drag this out. So I can select all of them and sequence them again. And I got a footage like this. Like this. And then there's some more other stuff too. So you can edit each of them and then short the whole thing up, whole thing. So this footage is very long, as you can see here. So I can individually do them, select both of this, and then make it like maybe 10, sequence them, and then look at this footage, how long it's been, how it looks. That's still so fast and slow. That looks okay. Then we are just gonna go back to this, and this looks like real. This is real footage. I mean, real speed. So what I can do is speed it down as well. So select it, select all of them, sequence them, and it's done. Okay, so this one, this one, this one looks same. So let's select this two. 6 is fine. Select the last one, select these two, sequence them. That's ready. See how quickly you can edit something. So you just simply change the speed and everything. This one is car driving, so let's do 20. So this is how you're going to reduce the size and everything and fit it into one minute long. So I spent some time to put all of this together and then quickly edit this video. It didn't take me more than like 15 to 20 minutes to edit the whole video. So it was just bring all of them, cut it, and then sequence the music and reduce the volume and stuff and change the speed. So that's how it looks. Okay, so let me show you each of the options really quickly, just a brief of this, what it does. So if I have a, yeah, so if I have a layer and I have some markers in it, I can click on this, it will put some markers, all of this layer, and this button will tell me that how many layers are selected, how many markers I have. This button will tell me if the distance between each of them. It will put some comment too. So if this is even, as I can see, it's even number. Click on this, it will tell you the time, which was all of this distance between each of them, and it will put some timing comments. You can delete these comments by simply clearing that. Select it and clear the comments, and it will be gone. And yeah, so these two buttons are gone. So this one will create markers real quick. So if I select a layer and I am lazy to cut it out, so I can simply, now if we have the timeline from here to here, and then if we just say 15 second, it will create all of this for all of this. I'm going to undo that. But if I want to do it for only this one, click on the BN, which will bring your work comp area, and you click on this now, and you get only this area. Now, if I want to simply cut it out, I'm just going to go back to split and then just cut it out with the lazy tool, which will cut each, let's say 1 second or 2 seconds for each of these markers. It can be a minute, it can be a frame. So if I do a frame, and if I select it, let's say here to here, it will give me frames on each 15. Simply click on this clear marker. It will clear all of the markers that was created by this software or the script. So if I clear all of the markers, click on this button, it will force delete all of the markers. So clear the comment, as I mentioned before, that it has two options. One option is if you have a marker and then if you have your own comment. And if you have another marker or another timing that was created by this one, this clear comment will, if you press once, it will clear all the comments that was created by the software. If you double click on that, it will clear all of the comments that you have in the selected layers. Clear the markers. You can make a marker using this tool. So let's see how the marker transfer button works. If you have a layer with some markers, you can easily transfer those markers to different layers. Let's say I'm going to clear the markers from this layer and maybe from this layer. And I want to transfer these markers into this one and this one. Now, as you can see, the length is not same as this two, but it's going to still work because it will paste the markers at the same in point on those layers. So I'm going to click on this layer, marker transfer, and then the paste marker button appears. I'm going to select this one and this one and just click on paste marker. And as you can see, it's exactly same as this one, even though the length is different. You can copy only from one single layer, but paste them into multiple layers. If you try to copy multiple layers and then click on this, you will get an error. If you need to select multiple layers marker and then want to transfer that, either you can use the batch marker transfer or you can get the layers to comp marker and then transfer back to different layers using the comp to layer marker. This will move your marker. If I press this one, it will move one frame. It's really hard to see. It's moving one frame. Sometimes if you press it like real fast, it will do one by one. It will not do all together. So if you give a pause, let's say click here, give a pause and then click again, it will move that. Click and then pause and then click again, pause, it will move it. But if you want to move it fast, like 10 frames, you just hold shift and then click on that, it will move 10 frames backward or forward. But now let's say you don't have much time to move it in that way, but you want to move it to some other areas. You can simply transfer it, as I mentioned before, transfer it and then click on this, transfer that layer marker, and then you want to transfer it, let's say, at this point. So that's where you got it. So you don't have time, but you just have a long layer. That's how you can transfer it to any layer. Let's say I want to do it in this layer. Transfer it like this way. You have this marker here. Another thing is batch marker transfer will transfer all of the markers you have and it will put it in a null object. So if you have multiple markers here and multiple layers, and the funny thing about this is you don't have to even have, so let's say I want to cut on each point on as a in and out or whatever, but I don't want to go to each of these and then go to the timeline and then just do it. What you can do is you can simply select one layer. First, you simply click on one layer, put the markers wherever you want to. So let's say I want at this point, but it is in a different layer. You can simply put a marker here. That's fine. So you select everything, and now I'm happy with this. Simply select this marker. So I have some more here. Delete this one. I have some more markers on this layer at those points. You can simply click on that, move that to this area. Then I'm going to delete this one. Here are all of them. Now if I simply click on back, so select all of them, click on this, those markers will be transferred to each of them. It can be really handy when you're working really fast. You don't have time to select each layers. That's all about the marker menu. If you go to the split, it's simple, just in and out point cutting, and the lazy cut, which is just you tell the time and then it will cut it for you. It will make pre-comps for each cuts. So you can multiple times you can just cut it and then cut it and cut it. In the speed, this will you can change any layer speed anytime you want. So it will not move. The layer will be still there, but it will change the timing real fast. Select all of them, new value, sequence them. It's fast. This one will pre-comp your layers. So if you select all of them and then click on this pre-comp individually, if I just rename that, you will see what's happening here. Select all of them and then click on this pre-comp individually. It will pre-comp each of the layers as a one pre-comp. So it will put a pre-comp word after each of this. So that's how you can maintain your names. But then if you select all of them and then put a name here, let's say I want to do time stretch pre-comp, click on this pre-comp all. You have one pre-comp that is called time stretch pre-comp, and all of them are inside this. As you can see, and in and out point are same. Okay, so sequence layer that you just know you can sequence any layers real quick. Even if you have something like this, select from bottom to top or top to bottom, however you want. So you can just go from the middle as well. And if you click on this, that will be the sequence that you just selected. So if I select from bottom to top, that maintain that sequence. Overlap sequence, it will overlap your sequence. You have to put a value here first. Let's say 50, it will be frame. So if I click on this, each of this will move 50 frames. It will overlap 50 frames. From here to here, it's 50 frames. Now, if you want to do some fade in and fade out, you can simply click on this tool, do that, and it will put a fade in, fade out. How do I know? If I press T, you can see all of them has a fade out and fade in and fade out. I don't recommend fading out if you have like this, because when you have a fade out for this one, fading for this one, you will get a black area. So I recommend only the fade in. Each of them will be fading in. How do you clear that? If I make a mistake and I want to redo everything, you simply click on clear opacity and clear all of the opacity. You can make it 100% for all of them. You can change the time stretch. If I have did some stretching, for this, you can select all of them and clear the time stretch. It will go back to its original timing, which is 100%. And this one will, if you are using a laptop and you don't have much space to work, then you can simply click on this. It will trim your layer wherever your timeline is and whatever layer you're selected. If I select all of this like this, I want to trim it from this amount. If I sequence that, it will be sequenced from trim out point. If you select all of them and then click on this add adjustment layer, it will add adjustment layer on each of them. If you select all of them again, or whatever layer you have and select all of them, if you have any adjustment in between, those will be removed too. So be careful. Click on delete and then it's gone. If you have music, you want to set up a music value, custom music value, press L to see the level. As you can see, it's 0 right now. So I put a value here, let's say -20, because this is loud. When you click on the fade music, it will make all of the value to that value. Fade, press L, see all of the values are 20, -20. You want to fade in and fade out the music, you can simply put a value. You don't have to do minus, but it will understand because you want to click on this. So if you just do fade out, it will do a fade out of the music. And you click on this, it will fade out the music. And clear time stretch, and that's all. That's all about the Rapid Reel Composer. I know the video is too long, but I just wanted to show you the possibilities that you can use this script to speed up your workflow. So if you're a Premiere Pro user, then you will not be able to use the script directly in Premiere Pro, but there's an alternative way how you can utilize that script. To do that, you have to install After Effects in your system. Here I have some footage in Premiere Pro. I'm going to select all of them and then right click, new sequence from clip. Once you have all of your clips, select all of them, right click, and then you nest that. So in After Effects, we call it as pre-comp. So let's call this my video and then just click OK. Now this is going to act like a one single layer, right? So we can just simply click on that and replace with After Effects composition. When you click on that option, it will ask you to save the After Effects project file. So you just name something and then you save it. Now all of the footage and the nested comp will be transferred to After Effects. And when I edit this video in here, you will see those changes in Premiere Pro at the same time. So now we just load the script and then we will do our stuff. So I have a 7-minute video that I want to edit that using the script. So let's go to marker tab and I'm going to put the marker in every, let's say 30 seconds. I'm going to select the layer and then click on magic marker, and then it put markers on each 30 seconds. Now I want to get 3 seconds from each of these markers. So I'm going to go back to split and then put 3 seconds and then click on the lazy. And now I have got all of the video clips that I needed, short video clips. I will go to speed tab and then change the speed a little bit. So I'm going to make it faster. I'm going to do 80 and then click on time stretch and then so this become a little bit faster. Now there's a gap here, as I can see. I can click on the sequence layers and then it will put them together. Then I'm going to click on BN and I'm going to trim the comp to the work area. And I don't need this video layer anymore, which was the original video. You can still leave it here if you want to re-edit that later, but I'm going to delete it. I'm going to save the project. And if I go back to Premiere Pro, you will see that it's updating live. And as you can see, we have a long footage, but you have a video actually up to here. So we can actually trim the whole area up to that section. So if I play the video, you will see that 3 seconds clip. That's how you can utilize this script in Premiere Pro. But this is for today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.